What's up, Internet World? We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Leroy.
I'm Michael.
We're here to talk about Star Trek. Picard.
Wow. Okay, great.
I'm embracing I got no hair.
There we go. Picard, episode 8?
You don't even know, do you?
I don't know where we are in episodes. I don't know what the most recent episode is. Is
It's
it 8?
called Broken Pieces.
Okay. Is that episode 8?
Ta-da.
We talked about it in the last video, depending on how timeline works when that video goes up, whether or not
okay.
Allison Pill's character, I had said it was a suicide attempt. You had said it was the attempt to kill the tracker. And you were right. It seems that way you were right.
Once again. Also, New Mutants, Hulu, never theaters. Hashtag Leroy's right.
This would either age gracefully or poorly.
Let me tell you right now. If it shows up on Hulu one night, I'm coming to your house. I don't care what time. I'm New Mutants on Hulu. Then I'm just walk away.
I never thought I would profile a black man. I live in a nice neighborhood. I'll call the cops and be like, "There's a black man outside my door." I don't know.
I'm gonna show up like this. I'm gonna be like,
I don't know him. I think you stole that shirt from somebody. I don't know who he is.
I'm gonna show up on your doorstep. So, hey, if y'all hear about me getting arrested, you know why. Cause, hey, don't look for it. Just realize it. Oh, Leroy got arrested. Oh, New Mutants is on Hulu.
Yeah, they'll be tied together. So they're back on the ship. Allison Pill, she woke up, or she was out of the coma or whatever she was in, and she's feeling bad about what she did.
I don't believe her.
You don't? Oh, really?
I don't know. You just don't murder somebody and then feel. I don't know.
There was a line she said. See, I wish we had done it earlier because I remembered. She said, I don't murder anybody anymore." Is that what she said? I thought that was a great line.
She says, I'm done murdering people.
I'm done murdering people. The way Allison Pill delivered that line, it was great. I'm done murdering people. Okay, great. We also get, so you know the Star Trek lore. What was the thing at the beginning with the Romulans? Oh,
that was their little quorum. That was the Vat Jas or whatever that was.
Yeah.
So remember, Commander O, this episode, so I'm going to be for real now. So the episode starts with Commander O with a round table or, whatever of...
And it was only females.
I mean...
I thought that was interesting,
Who runs the world?
Yeah,
Hashtag
I think that was cool.
So you had women around this thing, and they basically see a vision. Commander O says that you're going to see a vision, and that this vision, some of you will understand it, some of you will not get it.
It will drive you insane.
And so we see only one person left standing. My girl, Peyton, aka
Narissa.
Colonel Narissa. Put some respect on her name.
Sure.
So
she survived intact.
She survived intact.
And
I want to say this. She survived as in the most mentally. She survived with the most mental capacity, because I'm wondering, did that vision or whatever it was change her? Because we don't know what she was beforehand. Because now we just see her as a murdering psychopath. Just ejecting, just doing all kind of mad stuff.
Yeah.
So I wonder what kind of person she was in the beginning. She's the only one left standing.
And there was another person who lived, because everybody else killed themselves. It was wild.
Not everybody.
That was intense.
Not everybody killed themselves. Some of them were still just laying on the ground, just moaning and stuff.
Oh, I thought they all killed them. Somebody bashed their head in with a rock.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody shot themselves. Like, it was wild.
Yeah.
But her aunt, who is, what's her name?
Click that one. Scroll down. Keep going. Click that. See full cast.
Oh, okay. Well, you keep talking while I find out. The one who we met on the Borg before, who they said had been connected to the Borg, and
remember, she got assimilated, not connected. Assimilated. Got to remember those terms, man.
Fair enough.
Keep going. Just hit this button. You got it. You got it.
Well, you got it.
Right there, Rebecca Wiskoski.
Ramda.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's her aunt, and that gives us a little more feeling for the connection between the two, and we see.
Does it?
To me, I felt more connected to Narissa now.
Does it?
Why'd you say Colonel? Because it says Lieutenant here.
Well, Lieutenant in, I want to say, it looks like Lieutenant in Starfleet. But remember, they kept calling her Colonel in...
Oh,
the
whatever.
The Romulans kept calling her Colonel.
Gotcha. Yeah, she.
Well, let me tell you about. They kept when I was watching it on closed captioning, some of the words where they were saying Colonel. So
Oh, okay.
it could be
Gotcha.
a mess up, but that's what the Romulans are called. Continue.
Okay. Yeah, to me, I've kind of felt more connected to Narissa, saying how much she cared for her aunt.
Did she?
I think she cares for her aunt. You don't think so?
No, because you're a psycho. That lady was mean. She
Who was
told
mean?
Narissa. She told her she was malingering, and then she talked trash about her. She was like, "They assimilated the wrong Borg ship. They should have came for me, son." It's like
That's not how I took that.
that's how I took it.
I took it as they should have come for me because I could have been stronger because she wanted to protect her aunt.
I didn't see that.
I took it as I felt like Narissa saying they should have come for me and left you alone to protect you. That's what I took.
It seemed to me where she was like, "You malingering, you weak. They should have came for me. I'd have more for them." That's how it came off to me. I'm gonna go back and watch that, and then we'll
Yeah, because you're the one that's heartless. I'm like, John.
no, I mean,
That's
that's
rough.
why I said I don't know what she was, because she was like, I don't know why you took it. She like, because you took me and Narek in, and we see that interaction, so we know that there's a history. I just don't know if she was always this way, or was she? Because it seems to me Narek is the more sensitive, feeling one out of the two.
Yeah.
She is the more vicious, psychopathic.
And again, to your point, to our knowledge, Narek hasn't seen the vision, so we don't know what she was pre-vision. Maybe she could have been softer like Narek.
Our Game of Thrones Romulans.
Yes. So she's on the ship deciding to kill everybody who's been previously assimilated by the Borg.
Oh yeah, she's trying to kill all synth life.
Yeah, she's like, y'all done.
She's just like, I've now been, y'all tried to mutiny, so that gave me carte blanche. To
She was about to take out her boy Elnor, and then 7 to 9, which is, I guess, TV magic. Where'd she come from?
well, remember,
I feel like she wasn't on that board.
no, but remember, I get what I'm wondering is, and we know she's a ranger. We know that Hugh and Elnor shared a moment where basically he had the little thing in his hand. So I'm wondering, was that a distress call that Elnor and them made to get help? Because Elnor, remember 7 of 9 was like, "Why are you here not with Picard?" And he was like, "I found a more worthwhile lost cause."
A lost cause, yeah, that was nice.
And so we see that interaction. And Elnor is a murder child. He's a cute little like a grown up murder child where he just slaughters people willy-nilly, but then he acts like a child when he saw 7 to 9. He just hugged her.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really cool moment. I think the one element of this show that I thought was really cool was we finally got to see the round table where everybody shares their knowledge of what is going on. So everybody brings a little piece of something, and they sit down at this table to discuss, that's what's going on. Because we see Soji and Picard beam up to the ship. Rios recognizes Soji. And then he just panics, bolts. And he's like, I'm going to take you and you on your own.
Yeah. And did you know this was coming?
What do you mean?
Because you were saying you really wanted an episode that focused on Rios, or at least got into his backstory in our last episode 7. You were just like, I would really like an episode that focused, and I'd already seen the episode, that's why I didn't say anything. Calm down, you ain't that smart, shut up.
I am. I just...
Whatever.
When are y'all going to realize this, man? I mean, I just...
That's why I got to keep him in check, y'all. Because this fool just... Yeah.
But I was right, though.
Whatever. I mean, it's not
We
like
got
you were...
5 Rioses in this episode.
We did, and I liked all of them. They were all different and cool. But we got more back into Rios, his backstory, and we learn that Soji is... there's not just 2 of them, clearly.
There's at least 3, or was 3.
Yeah, I think it's probably multiple when we get to this planet.
Well, we don't know how many there are.
Right.
We don't know. We don't know how many Sojis or Janas or Janas, whatever you want to call her. And so we see that everything. This is the episode that really, if you've been watching, you've been following along, you're like, finally. And we get a sense of Narissa's not just a murdering psychopath. There is some history behind why she is this way. We get a little bit of backstory of why Allison Pill, her character is a little bit more nuanced of why she would murder Maddox. We get to see Rios explain why he left Starfleet, and we get a little redemption for Rafi for her being right finally,
She said,
and being acknowledged.
I called it.
and actually being acknowledged for being right.
Yeah.
So this round table that we got to see, where everybody sits down and everybody discusses, and they each bring their own little piece to the table, and it's like, oh, now if you figured it out way before then, hats off to you. You're as smart as I am. But
Horrible.
But yeah, this was awesome. The one thing that I will say that I really liked the idea of in Star Trek, this concept that no matter how smart you are, there are things in the universe that are so complex you may not understand it. Your perception. So Rios brings up this. So I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it's, and the chat will definitely tell us, or the comment section. But basically, it's like, so you saw the Star Trek movies? Did you see, was it Generations, or?
I saw the new Star Trek.
Oh, you've
movies.
never seen any of them.
I've seen them bits and pieces.
So,
yeah,
there's always a moment in a civilization where they come and it changes their entire perception, their entire world. In one of the Star Trek movies, I don't remember which one, forgive me, there's a lot going on here, they get introduced to warp drive, and that changes Earth. It allows them to interact with other species.
Like Mass Effect Relay in the Mass Effect game.
Kind of like that.
Kind of.
This was the moment for the Federation to introduce themselves from what Rio saw to a brand new species. And the captain of his ship off the two representatives.
He did.
And in this show, we finally get to see that moment, or hear about that moment, that literally changes everything, your known universe and known world. Because we figure out about this, was it a quorum? Remember the 8 planets? And
quorum, probably.
And Rafi believed that it was 8 people.
Right.
And then she realized, oh, it was 8. And then that's when that little light went off in her head, and she was like, do you know how big it is to move planets and stars into alignment? And that's when you start to realize the gravity of what is going on.
And I like that, because a lot of times whenever you have the conspiracy theorist character, they're always like a crackpot or a loon or whatever. But I do like the fact that she was proven right.
Validation.
But it's great that she gets that validation, because you don't always see the other half of when they're proven right. What was the movie with Mel Gibson where he was a conspiracy theorist?
Edge of Darkness.
That's what it was called?
The one where he was a conspiracy. Which one?
Oh, how many has he been in?
There's a couple of. There's one with him and Julia Roberts, and then there's one where
that's one I was thinking of.
I know which one you're talking about.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Okay, because there's that one, but then there's also another movie that was a British TV show called Edge of Darkness, where basically he wasn't necessarily a conspiracy theorist. His daughter had worked at a company and she gets murdered, and he sees these conspiracies because of his child, and he has to unravel them and figure them out. So yeah, the one thing about this episode that I loved was this coming together moment. The one thing I didn't like was...
Ooh, I wonder if it's the same thing as me.
They never addressed Rafi's...
No. Being drunk and not being drunk?
Yeah, like...
It's weird.
It's like that she's highly functioning, and then she asked for alcohol, and then she locked herself out to keep herself from it, but then, like... she was okay with it, and we know for a fact that people dealing with addiction and it's not that simple.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was a disservice. And I understand want to keep it moving and stuff like that. But the episode is called Broken Pieces. I really felt like you spent a really good time dealing with Alison Pill's situation with her. Her come to Jesus moment. Rios having his come to Jesus moment. You already had Picard have his. You already had Soji had hers. I feel like this episode did not do a good job of doing a disservice to Rafi, and that's in that sense.
Yeah. To me, the part where I felt let down was when 7 and 9 plugs into
the Borg cube.
She says a line where something to the effect of, I have to be careful because if I connect to all these people, I may not want to let them go.
Yep.
I thought that was going to be interesting. it doesn't really become a problem because they're all sucked out of the thing.
They're
I wish
ejected.
They're ejected by Narissa.
Yeah.
That was a cool visually. That looked cool, but I don't like the payoff because I thought we were going to get more tug and war in herself of is she going to do it or not? Let him go or not. Didn't really matter because they were all gone. I don't know. To me, that felt like a letdown.
I see it. I guess I would have liked to have more. I would have liked for there to have been more emotion once the Borg were ejected. In other words, from her, not just like
Darth Vader.
I would have liked to I would have liked to have seen some type of withdrawal of losing, because the whole idea behind the Borg is that you're part of a collective. You're not an individual. You're part of something greater than yourself. The thing that I felt was missed in this episode was this idea of you are no longer an individual and you chose to become part of the collective again. And what was that like? And maybe the next episode we'll see that. But that whole idea of you set yourself to embrace this, and then you have this connectivity, and then all of a sudden it's taken away from you. That was, I guess, I looked at it a little different than you did. I thought that was a missed opportunity of exploring the back and forth between what the Borg is and why someone would willingly hook themselves up. After we saw that wonderful episode with Picard and Seven of Nine having that conversation and saying, do you ever feel whole after what happened to you?
Yeah.
And for her to just, I'm going to go back. And that, like, what the stakes were for her to go back. And I think that was a missed opportunity in crafting and developing this episode. But I will say that I really enjoyed it. There are some things that I'm trying to figure out, is this payoff going to be enough? Because you've done this doom and gloom. You said that Soji is the destroyer. The Romulans believe this. But where did they get this from? Like, where does this vast conspiracy come from that they are willing to destroy anything to keep it from happening?
I like the idea that the vision that they saw was like from 2,000 years in the past or 20,000 years. It was a long time ago. I like the idea of like time not just starting with 00 AD, it being way before in the past of there was a civilization who got sentient life and somehow it was all destroyed. Because those were all visions of the past, right? That wasn't visions of the future.
I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out. There's this thing that I don't know. And they haven't made it clear, in my opinion, in my estimation. And I've been watching, and again, I could be mistaken. It seems to be that these visions are things that could possibly happen. That Soji is the destroyer. They've built it in a vast conspiracy to wipe out all synth life, to the fact that they burrowed into Starfleet to destroy Starfleet from within, to the point where they disrupted their own refugee process.
Yeah.
That's how important this was. But where does it come from? Where the one thing I'm missing, that I'm glad that this episode happened, the one thing I'm missing, and I'm hoping we see it, where are the dots where the Romulans are here? Somehow the Borg ties in. Then you have sentient life, and basically you have all these things intersecting. Where does that point happen? The fact that the Romulans have been harboring this secret for generations, centuries. Starfleet has somehow bought into it, to the fact of they have not only, certain members of Starfleet not have only embraced it because they're spies or there's insurrection. The other parts of Starfleet have been ignorant or have literally looked the other way. And Picard says, I love that little interaction between Rios and Picard, where Rios is like, I hate the fact that he died thinking Starfleet betrayed him. And Picard said, they did.
They did. Yeah.
They did. Like, and it was, and I know we like to try to stay away from politics as far as, but there is a sense of this show was written with everything that's going on in the world in mind. The whole refugee crisis, the fact that global warming to an extent that Romulus blew up. It's like you lost an entire world.
Yeah, I mean, as somebody, again, who is newer to the Star Trek universe overall compared to you, one thing that I did know about Gene Roddenberry is that, Star Trek is supposed to be an allegory for real world stuff. And that's a big thing in science fiction overall. So, I mean, when people say they don't want politics in shows...
You don't want Star Trek.
I was like, you don't want... I think it's...
You don't want science fiction.
Yeah, I think it's a disservice to say you love Star Trek, but you don't want politics. Like I don't know how you get one without the other. Because that's how Gene Roddenberry created it.
You can't, because the whole idea behind the idea of Star Trek was this fact that this utopian society was born, and we are tested by different things, and different races exemplified certain things going on in the real world. And I think that idea that Picard was this shining light who basically died out to a certain extent. And he's like found his purpose, but also he's finding people along the way who kind of feel either left behind by him or left behind by Starfleet. Whether it's Rios, who feels he lost a father figure and he feels Starfleet betrayed him and his mentor. Picard, who walked away because of what happened to him, his hurt, PTSD, and a little bit of his pride. He left behind Rafi and Elnor to fend for themselves.
Right.
Alison Pill, who is broken because of what happened to her, her life's work, her life's dream, the interaction you see between her and Soji, that's exactly what she spent her whole life reaching for.
Yeah.
And now you murdered the man who helped spark that in you. Like all of them have this thing that they're striving for, and they literally have. And it was funny because Soji asked Rios, "Do you have a family?" And I'm glad he didn't say it then, because it would have been cheesy. Yeah, I have you guys. But in a sense, that's what they're all searching for.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I think. And we've had some commenters who say some stuff, and I have really been good. I have held off telling you to go fly a kite. And that's the cleaned up version, because if I could say what I want to say, whoo! But that's what Star Trek was always about. The idea, do you have morals and values when they're tested? And when they're tested and you don't, then you don't have morals and like you don't have a code. And that's what happened with Starfleet. They were faced with a problem, and they became more insulated, more xenophobic.
Right.
And that was something that Picard said, we have to steel ourselves against that. That was the thing that I was like, this is Star Trek. This is amazing. Even though it's not always about, space and exploration, you get that core theme of what happens when your ideals are tested.
Yeah. I'm ready for the last three episodes, 2 episodes.
I don't know, man. You ain't keeping track. You're doing a bad job of keeping track.
I mean, I'm doing a great job of keeping track. I was watching them on time. Sir?
I mean, but you don't remember which one is which.
That's your fault.
No, that's your fault.
Because you watched them and we reviewed them as you watched them.
No. I was always ahead of you.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was, because I would stay up that night to watch them, and you wouldn't watch them.
You had to watch it the next day.
No, the couple times you hadn't watched them, and then I was the one who watched them first.
Go back and watch these. Y'all watch these tapes, and y'all let us know. I don't know if that's true.
I know it's true. There's a couple times that you felt, because you hadn't watched them. But see, I kept it in-house. I didn't tell the people that.
Sometimes you got to air it tomorrow.
I see that.
Yeah.
Rios' beer game, once again on point. Bravo. All 5 Rios' beer game was on point. I was like, man. I was like, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful. On that, folks, that's it for us for episode 8. We will be back for episode 9. Hopefully Thursday, maybe. We'll see.
No, because it comes out Thursday.
Yeah, but you said you watch it Thursday. You
watch
it Wednesday night, right?
I try to watch it because there's most of the time it drops right about 3, right about 4 a.m. So if I stay up late enough, I can catch it before I get where I can I'm like, okay, I'm writing stuff down. I'm cognizant.
Yeah. So we will try and get a review up for 9 up as soon as we can whenever that episode drops.
For y'all. We do this for the people.
Yeah.
Also, check this out, guys. We know there's a lot of stuff going on out there. Stay safe.
Wash your hands.
Well, hey. Wash everything. This, hands, all of this. Wash it all.
Yeah, wash it all.
Hey, tell them what good people can find us.
Find us right here on YouTube. You can also find us on Twitter,
Like,
Instagram,
comment, and subscribe.
Facebook, and WOTX.com.
Hey,